Hello and welcome to the second episode of the official Dead Frontier Talk Show. I'm your host, Joe Taker 666, and as a guest star, we have Vic with us.
Hey,
Deja vu, right? Well, so
I
basically,
know.
we just recorded 30 minutes of some actually really cool stuff, and unfortunately, there was some kind of technical difficulties, and it didn't seem to record what Vic and I were saying. Well, it only recorded what I said, basically. So, but we had that problem fixed up now, so.
Yeah, so if I get a little annoyed answering some questions, it's because I'm saying the same words.
Exactly. So let's just get to it then. So I'm gonna do a shout out to everybody that supported us. Thanks a lot for tuning in with us and bearing with us here. Um, I'm gonna do a shout out to a friend of mine, God of War, for making these pictures for us, which can be used as signatures. Here's the first picture, the second one, and the third one. So pretty cool. Love the way you did that text and all that. So thanks again. And yep, let's get started. I got a new desktop here, down there
Sweet.
on the lower left. You should be seeing some footage from a video of mine. I'm just grinding around, having some fun, and later on in the video, you'll probably see me get attacked by two giant spiders. So that's pretty fun. Separate times, but I ended up killing them both. Got like I forgot what I ended up looting, but nothing too exciting. So
Yeah.
all right, well let's just jump right into it then. So we know that you're the number one person for TPK, and I want to say
hmm
congrats on that.
Thank you very much.
Um, so do you have any advice for the players trying to win Top Survivor or try to win Top Player Killer?
Uh, a random note I would like to say, if you hear my dog barking, just ignore it.
Will do.
As for my dog's barking, so I don't know if you guys can hear it or
Nah,
not,
we can't.
but
I'm not hearing
all right.
anything, so you're good.
Whew. Well, that's a good.
All
Anyways,
right,
because it's very annoying. I don't want to annoy everybody.
that's fine.
But for your question, I would have to say that to win Top Survivor, well, I'll start out with TBK since I'm more experienced with that. For TBK, 10 to 15 million, that's the cash you need to run. That includes drugs as well. And when you're running for Top Player Killer, always keep a distance, never rush into fights. And make sure you can try it. Like, I didn't mention this the last time, but maybe look at the names and actually see who you're fighting
Right,
because it's good to study the
competition.
opponents competition to know how they play, and you can know what you need to do in order to counter them. And like I said, keep a distance and basically just hop into fights. That's the main thing. Exactly what I said. Hop into fights, because when you hop into fights, you get to kill people low HP. It's so much easier to rack up the points than fight somebody one on one, because it can take forever if you're fighting somebody that's challenging to kill,
Exactly.
like me or anyone else, and that's a top TBK or PvP or whatever. So make sure you hop into fights, because that's how you actually rack up the points by just hopping into fights, picking off the kills, and that's how you really rack up the points. So that's probably the best advice I can give you, and to keep a distance and don't backpedal nonstop, because you're just gonna set a bad reputation on yourself. You gotta play with pride. Don't refresh. Don't pansy. I do it. I'm not gonna be the first to lie, but I do it because my opponents do it. So what I do is try to get into my opponent's head,
Right,
which I think is actually a really good strategy as well. So I'm not
definitely.
gonna talk to you guys and say I don't pansy, I don't refresh, but I actually do it. That's only if my opponent plays dirty, because I find playing dirty back, I don't do it to be cheap. I do it to get into my opponent's head, and if you can get into your opponent's head, it increases your chances of winning. For Top Survivor, I would have to say 20 to 30 mil. And best weapon to use, GAU, of course. GAU is very useful to grind with. Same with the Corpse Destroyer, and same with the Corpse Eruptor. And I would also note that boss hunting is also a really good idea. And each boss hour starts at the half hour, so like 12:30, 1:30, 2:30, 3:30 is when the boss hour ends. So your best bet, as soon as it hits like 12:30, like the half hour, that new boss spawns. So your goal is to find that boss as fast as you can and grind the boss for the whole boss hour, 60 minutes straight. That way you can rack up the EXP. Because the best thing to do to grind is to do boss aggro.
Yep.
Because four passer OAs, they're useless when it comes to top survivor. Same with four passer missions too. The best thing to do is to do boss aggro nonstop all day long. And if you can't fight a BT or you feel like you can't kill one, don't take your chances. Just run around the end zone. You can get EXP that way pretty good too, but boss aggro is the best thing to do. That's all I can say on that note.
All right. Definitely some good information there, guys, if you're interested in running for TPK.
Yeah.
Now, for the viewers that don't know, winning one of these two, such as top survivor, player killer, it allows you access to the dust shop, which
For 1 week.
for 1 week, unless you're level 220, right? So,
Yeah.
definitely access to
That's
some
up.
pretty good weapons. Definitely pretty cheap too. So,
Mhm.
um, so what are some ways people could improve themselves, through PvP? Like, what weapons should they be using?
As I said in the first question, probably the GAU, the course is shorter, and I also didn't note that you should be using a rifle too, such
Yeah,
as like the Iron Sight, the Course Piercer, and even the Rex, because having a rifle is very useful when it comes to PvP,
it
because it
is.
puts on a significant amount of damage towards your opponent, and it's
Exactly.
also good for long distance shooting too.
Yeah.
If your opponent's running away from you and you have a lot of space between you and your opponent, pull out that rifle, take some shots. Who knows? You can kill him. Chances are you will if you're really good at aiming. You gotta get practice with it. And I would also say, as I said in the last record, also fight people in the inner city or in the because inner city PvP is also useful as well, or even in the arena, like fight like someone that's good at PvP that's in the top 100 all-time player killers or has dust and actually has experience with PvP. Because maybe if you fight them one-on-one, they can give you tips on what you need to improve, what you did wrong during the fight. That way you can work on what you did wrong and you can work to improve into becoming a better PvPer. And who knows, maybe you can win TBK 1 week if you don't have dust yet. And that's all I can say there. But never give up and just keep striving to become a good PvPer because it can happen. There's a lot of arena sync, which means that some people, if you're in a certain spot, like if you move a certain way, you get like you put more damage to your opponent than your opponent puts damage on you.
Right.
And how I can say that on that note is basically keep a distance and don't rush into your opponent because you get wrecked quicker.
Yep. All right.
But yep,
So,
that's it.
yeah, thanks for that. Moving on to the next question.
You're welcome.
Are you in a clan currently? And if so, which
Uh,
one?
I'm in the SS, the AKA Scarlet Sentinels, and I've been in there for, I mean, since I was a level 40 to 50 something, and I'm level 220 now. So I would say that I've been in there for a pretty damn long time.
Yeah.
And I joined since like, I guess 1 month after I joined Dead Frontier. So I definitely been in that clan for a long time, and I plan on staying in there for a long time, maybe even when I leave the game. We'll see.
Yep. All right. So, going on to the next question. My favorite legendary weapon out of all of them is definitely the Iron Sight. I currently own one of them, and I just have to say they're pretty badass, and they
Yeah,
definitely live up to their name,
definitely.
for all standards and all play styles. So they're definitely pretty
Yeah,
good.
I
Um,
completely agree.
yeah. So which one is your favorite out of all the
um,
legendaries?
I would have to completely agree with you with the Iron Sight, because I tried pretty much every legendary out, and the Iron Sight seems to work best for me just because it's an awesome PvP weapon. It's awesome when it comes to killing bosses, especially Black Titans, and it's also great for looting. And I tried the Hammerhead. Well, I never tried it, but my clanmates tried it and I got some feedback on it from other users as well. It's not good when it comes to damage, and it's just looking at the price in the marketplace, you can just tell that players in the community are starting to dislike it. When you see a weapon go down in
True.
the marketplace, it only means one thing. It's starting to like not be useful to them.
Yeah,
And the iron sight's the only gun on the marketplace that actually has a solid price, 2 to 3 mil. So obviously the community is seeing that the iron sight is a good weapon.
it is.
And with all the other legendaries, they're all cheap. I feel they're not useful as the iron sight. The emulator shoots too slow, and I never really tried the legendary melee weapons to be honest, because the only
Me either.
legendary that I own is the iron sight
Yep,
because I like it.
it's
And
pretty badass.
yep, I bought it as soon as it came out. I bought it for like 10 mil, and I do regret buying it for that much, but
Yeah, I got
at the
mine for
same
like
time,
seven
yeah,
mil, but it's
yeah,
still worth it
but it
though.
was worth it. It was awesome weapon. So
Yep.
that would have to be my favorite legendary of all time.
Yeah. So what's your favorite all-time weapon? Like
Um,
beyond legendary.
well, I would say GU, of course, but
Right.
I'll just take that out of the equation because that's an obvious answer. So I'll exclude the GU out of it, and I would have to say the Course Destroyer or the Course Eruptor. And D-Mag could be nice too, the Dust Mag, but Dust Mag has range in PvP. I'll give it that,
Yeah.
and it's a great PvP weapon, but it's horrible when it comes to grinding. The Corpse Eruptor, it's great for PvP. It might not have the range as the like the Dust Mag, but it's awesome for grinding. Great grinding weapon. That's why I love the Course Destroyer so much. And for the Course Eruptor, same. Just because it shoots so fast when you grind. And once you just run around in circles with that huge aggro spike with the Corpse Eruptor, it just works awesome. So I would have to say my two favorite weapons of all time is the Corpse Destroyer and the Corpse Eruptor. And as you can see, if you look at my character, Vick, I usually have those two weapons on always most of the time, along with the GAU.
Yep.
But however, I do prefer the dust launcher when it comes to PvP over the eruptor, just because the eruptor shoots really fast and it could mess up putting damage into your opponent because the dust launcher has a steady pace to it compared to the corpse eruptor.
Hmm. Well,
So that's
I'm
what I
sorry.
can
Go
say
for it.
there. It's all right. No, I'm done. I
All
was
right.
just gonna say that's what I have to say there.
Okay. Well, my all-time favorite would be the Alpha Bull, just because it's a badass weapon. You know, I had my AB for quite some time now, and
Yeah, definitely
definitely
awesome
loved it.
weapon.
Yeah.
Good looking gun.
Yeah. Until I got the Magnum, also a good gun.
Yeah.
And then, I switched back and forth from rifles and pistols, and I just decided to go with the rifle now that the Iron Sight came out.
Yeah. Great idea.
Yeah. I definitely love my Alpha Bull.
Yeah.
I miss it.
I don't blame you. It's a great when it comes to damage. It had some really good knockback too. I think it's the like, one of the best pistols when it comes to knockback when it's
Yeah.
aggro.
Yeah,
I
it's
might
really
be
good.
wrong on that one, but it doesn't have that much speed, which makes it like not that like the best pistol in the game, but
Right.
it does have a lot of damage when it comes to shooting
Yeah.
zombies. So,
Not good for its DPS, but definitely
mm,
has good knockback and has good damage per hit.
yeah, that it does.
I mean, comparing to the Magnum at least. So that
Yeah.
shoots actually pretty fast. The Magnum DPS is actually not that bad. So,
Uh-huh.
all right. So, how long have you been a part of the Death Frontier community of the game?
Um, I'll look on my DRLP again. And just because I forget the date, I know it's September. Yep, September 24th, 2011. That's when my account was created. In the first 2 months I played this game. And I didn't really play that much. I wasn't really interested in it because when you're low level, when you don't have much in the game, there's really nothing to strive for. But that's when I decided to think to myself, hey, maybe joining a clan will actually make me interact with the people around here more and actually get
Right.
myself into the game. And so I wound it up in the SS, and I've loved the clan since the beginning. And what drove me was that my clanmates started to do TBK, and I never really knew like what it was about.
Right.
No PvP experience at all, whatever. And I decided to give it a go because I just thought it would be an awesome experience.
Yeah. Why
And
not?
I seen my clanmates were doing it. I figured just to take their footsteps and see if I can actually achieve thus myself. Unfortunately, I lost my first time, but I did set a record since Sergeant Thompson at 75,000 TBK points, and back then that was the highest score. And I
Yeah.
got 80,000 TBK points my first run, so I knew I had a lot of potential, but I lost to rock hair, and he's level 200. So fortunately for me, he
Yeah,
got like 96,000. But despite that, I had 80,000. So I knew I had potential, and I lost everything. I lost my weapons and all because I sold my own weapons just so I can buy ammo just to run.
yeah,
So after the week was over, I didn't really have much, but the SS was generous enough to give me a gift for my birthday, which was the Vulcan, and those were worth a lot back then, like 12 mil.
yeah,
So I was very thankful for that, and I put that into use, and I was able to raise some money up again and run for TBK again, and I won. And the best moment was actually buying that DOS
yeah. I
because
bet.
I never felt it would come. Like I thought I was done with the game.
Yeah,
Like after I didn't have anything in the game, I really thought it would be it. That's why I love the SS because they carried me through my TVK run and guided me through the ways of winning. And I'm very thankful that I have Dust at the moment, and I don't regret running for TBK one bit because it's an awesome experience, but it takes a toll on you at the same time.
it does. I bet.
Yeah,
Pretty cool. It's good to
yeah,
hear that,
very
you know, your
awesome.
clan is supportive, you know.
Yeah, there's a lot of players in the clan, so there's actually like all around the world. It could be like Spanish, German, British, it doesn't matter. They're all just in the clan, which
Right.
makes the game so awesome because everyone around the world plays it. So you get to meet
Exactly.
uh people from different cultures, so it's a good experience.
Yeah, it's all in good fun, huh?
Yep, definitely.
Pretty cool, pretty cool. So, what do you think should change in the game or be added in order to make that frontier, you know, a better place and a better game for
That's a
people?
good question. At the moment, the game is going smoothly, but I say M and Pawn, it will be better to make more updates to the game. Like, I'll give you credit, you're making some updates, but it feels like you need to listen to the community, like look at the suggestions on the forums and maybe get some ideas on what to put in the game that can make the community enjoy the game more. Switching up the map would be cool,
Yeah,
just because it would just give people new ways to go in the
exactly.
inner city. And I also was very thrilled that you added the Black Titan in the game because it's so awesome to add a new boss. Maybe you should
Yeah.
add another new boss or something. That would be cool too.
Yep.
Because
Reminds
when I
me of
first,
the
yeah,
behemoth.
yep, definitely.
Oh
That's what it
shit.
reminded everybody of in the very beginning. They actually started calling it the Behemoth, but really it was a Black Titan.
Yeah.
But also money can be a problem too, because at the
Yeah.
moment, pretty much every weapon in the marketplace is very cheap. So it would be cool if you can actually find a way to give users a better chance of making money rather than actually having them spend real life money. But I see your point there because you want players to pay real life money for the game because it benefits you. But at the same time, I feel like you need to think of the community as a whole and give them more opportunities to make money.
Exactly. Yeah. We were
Yeah.
talking in the previous recording how certain professions that they might add would potentially be useful.
Yeah, that would be cool too
That
if you
would be
had a
really
new
cool.
profession so it's like 50% added when it comes to grinding.
Yeah.
EXP boost. Oh, that would be
With some kind
awesome.
of penalty, obviously,
Yeah.
with stats. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I know. New
Yeah.
professions would be cool too, like add more. That would be so creative and
Right.
might actually make me do a profession change. You never
Yeah.
know.
Same here. Like,
Yeah,
like how most
yeah.
MMOs have like, you know, you can create medicine, you know, with supplies that you loot. And obviously, it
Yeah.
can change the loot tables, you know, have a better economy because the new items would be added in, like, let's say, broken, you know, broken guns, you know, missing
Yeah.
pieces, and you can repair it if you're, like, you know, an engineer, let's say, you know.
Yeah.
Like, you, Adam and Pone doesn't really have to add any new
Yeah.
new classes, but, excuse me, he could add, like, you know, new benefits to this, you know, the
Hmm.
current classes, like, you know, let's
Yeah.
say a scientist could pick plants off, you know, the ground, and certain plants, you know, might be turned into like medical supplies, or, you know, in a way be kind of like drugs, you know, how it
Hmm.
gives boosts, you know, let's say this plant, let's say, gives you plus 10 endurance, you know, on top of
Hmm.
what you already have, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That would be pretty cool. Like, you know,
Yeah, I just thought about something. What if admin pawn actually added a profession that actually increased your chances of looting? Now that would be cool.
that would be pretty cool, like scavenger, you know, something like
Yep,
that.
scavenger. Yep, I was
But
thinking exactly that. That'd be
I'm
awesome.
thinking in order to make that balance, though, maybe there can be like a penalty to XP, a penalty to any
Yeah.
attacking um,
To your
stats,
stat points. Yeah.
meaning like accuracy, reloading, all that stuff will
Yup.
be reduced. Endurance and
Yeah.
agility will stay the same, but
Mhm.
everything else will be reduced. Because I mean that class would just be for looting.
Yep.
I'd make that
Definitely.
account. I'd probably make a new account for that, turn it into
Yep.
gold member, level it up just so it can be in the end zone, and then just use
Yeah.
that purely for grinding. I mean
Yeah.
for looting. Sorry. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's 800 credits for a profession change, so Admin Punk can make a lot of money
That's
out of
true.
it.
That's true. You might definitely put that in consideration.
Yeah,
I would. Shit.
definitely. I would too.
Yeah. All right. So moving on to one of the more final questions. Are you a fan of the new cosmetic items? Like the hats and whatnot.
Hmm. Well, let me pull them up real quick, just so I can look at them one by one and give you a good input.
Right. My personal favorite is the anonymous mask. It's expensive, but it's
Yeah,
pretty badass. I love it.
most expensive mask. It's also unique, and I'm sure that mask came from the clan Anonymous. So that's pretty cool that they have that mask there, just because it's just I don't know, it's just a cool looking mask.
Yeah, it's
Like,
Guy Fawkes. You can't go wrong with that.
yeah, players are buying it despite it being 2,000 credits,
Which
so
is
it
ridiculous.
obviously draws attention.
Yeah.
And the other mask I like is the top hat. That's
Yeah.
also a cool mask. And the rebreather is pretty
Yeah.
cool. That's one of my tops. The gimp mask is also pretty cool
Kind
looking.
of creepy in a
And
sense, because
yeah,
I mean, come on.
yup. And some masks can be funny, such as like the potato
That's
sack.
pretty funny. Yeah. And the hockey
Yeah,
mask. Like, what the hell? Why would you even
I
wear the
know.
hockey mask? It's just
I
terrible.
know.
I would sell that thing.
Yeah, the welding mask looks pretty cool
Yeah,
too.
actually.
But I would have to say that you picked some good masks. It's pretty
Yeah,
unique, and players are actually buying the mask, so it
definitely.
goes
It
to
helps
show you
everybody,
that it's useful.
and you can
Like people are
customize.
liking the mask. Yep.
You can customize your character, make it so more expansive.
Yeah, definitely.
I think another thing that needs to be done with making things more unique is because when you create a character, you change the face and all that. I think maybe that can be changed up a little bit. A friend of mine was that just started playing the game. Created an account, and there seemed to only be like 5 or 6 options. I'm not entirely sure, and it's
Yeah.
kind of I wouldn't say stereotypical of some of the races, as though there's only one African and one Asian. I
Mm-hmm.
believe that there needs to be some kind of like more of an expansion on that, just to be more, diverse. Like, if I was to make an all, I would always use. I don't remember which face it was. I think it was number 5. It's the one
Mm-hmm.
that I have currently, but I mean, I picked that
Yeah.
one for every single character, and that's kind of repetitive in a way.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
I mean, he looks good and all that, but I mean, you know what I mean. It's just
Yeah, I
everyone looks the
got you.
same in a way. So
Yeah. Just want to have a unique look to you.
right, and maybe some more in-game things that could look a little different. We were talking earlier how the cloak, as soon as you put that cloak on, everyone's kind of looks at you, in a different way.
I know. I love the cloak.
I do too,
Yeah.
definitely. But I like the trench coat too. Actually, it kind of has like a different style to it.
Yeah, those are pretty cool too.
Yeah. But I don't know, maybe some more things in game, that look different in game, something more
Yeah.
unique. Maybe add
Yeah, I
different
got you.
colors, like purple. Like a purple cloak would be really badass.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Just different things.
I heard that he was going to add new colors to the game, but I'm not sure yet. Like, don't take my word for it, but I
Right.
heard that it might add a few more colors into the game.
That'd be
So
pretty cool.
let's hope that I'm right about that. I got my fingers crossed on it because it would
Yeah,
be awesome.
definitely. And also, kind of going back to a previous question on new things that might be added. Um, we were also talking about earlier that there might be a new outpost. Definitely don't want to believe everything that's on the wiki, of course.
Hmm.
They always change. I can go in there and just edit everything if I wanted to. But
Hmm.
and that goes for all Wikipedias. I mean, they could be useful. There's
Yeah.
some good info out there, but definitely be careful. Taking into consideration that half the info might be false. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
there has
Because
been
everybody can
rumors
edit.
of like a new outpost. I'm not gonna go into the details of how the outpost will look like, because I'm sure all that's pretty false. It seemed pretty fake to me,
Hmm.
but definitely the new idea of a new outpost might be true, and the only way for that to work out is obviously a new map expansion, which we're talking about earlier how much we would love to do that. Explore. Like that was really fun when 3D came out. you just go crazy and explore things because you don't know where anything was at that time.
Yeah.
Finding helicopter crashes, those were pretty fun.
A new outpost will be awesome, but at the same time, I would have to say he has to extend the map
Yeah, yeah.
if
So
he's going to
like
do that.
Fort Pastor, I mean, it has its difficulties, obviously, but I believe it could be harder at times. Like the new outpost would be like the difficulty of the end zone, and there'll be a new end zone that's even that much harder. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I got you.
So like the end zone, it's pretty difficult, kind of as is, for most players. But that'll be,
Hmm.
the type of um, location you'll be in, for the new outpost if it does come out. So
Yeah.
you know,
Hmm.
and for the the newer players, that are thinking about going to Fort Pastor, definitely consider that it's
Yeah,
still pretty
most popular
difficult.
outpost. Gotta go there.
I mean, it's good and all that. You can go with your main account. I do that all the time, but it's still pretty difficult. For the new players, that are on their first account or so. You
Yeah.
know, I mean, the other outposts are not that bad. I haven't really visited them, but I mean, I'm sure, from what I hear, they're also pretty good.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
recommend being, at least level 30 or something, just so you can
Yeah.
outrun things. I mean, as soon as you see that first spider, there's nothing you can do about it. You're just going to get killed if you're like,
Yeah.
under level 20 at least. So,
Hmm.
you know,
Yeah.
now I've had some problems with like multiplayer syncing. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
a friend would be, here at one
Hmm.
point and he's all the way over there at another point. It's
Yup.
definitely pretty ridiculous. The other day, I had a friend of mine, next to me playing as well, and I would look on the screen, there'd be some zombies there, and I would look at my
Hmm.
screen, and those zombies aren't even there.
Yeah.
Like there's a spider on the map, it's chasing me, but on his screen, it's chasing him as well. So it's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of weird.
Yeah.
And there was times where he would literally shoot at nothing. But on his screen, he's
Hmm.
killing something, but on my screen, he's just shooting blank. So
Yeah.
there's definitely issues with that.
I
Definitely
can
needs to
put
be
in some
fixed.
thoughts on that.
Sure.
For one, when I walk with the clammy or a friend to like northeast or southeast, wherever I go to, sometimes I don't enter the area, meaning I don't connect, so I have to refresh and whatnot. That seems to be a problem for me.
Yeah.
And also when I walk with my clammates or my friends, sometimes they're in front of me when really they're behind me, or sometimes I'm behind them when
Exactly.
really I'm in front of them. And for when it comes to bosses, when I fight a boss with my clanmates or my friends and whatnot, sometimes they get two bosses, but at the same time, um, I see one boss,
Right.
or that
Right. Vice
they see
versa
one
too.
boss and I don't see a boss at all
Yeah.
next to them. So I could be shooting nothing. Like I could be shooting the air, but really I'm hitting a boss on their screen.
Right. Right. So also another rumor. I think it's actually been confirmed. I'm not too sure that different tier. I guess like the server type for multiplayer is gonna change to like a different format or a different I guess different style. I'm not too sure. I don't have too much info on that,
Possibly. I don't have too much info either, but it
but
would be
it'll help
pretty
like
cool.
syncing. Making things less laggy.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, he was planning on doing it, and from what I'm hearing, he's gonna do it for arena purposes,
Hopefully.
so that there's not much lag or sync in the arena,
Right.
and that the arena will be more fair in in gameplay
Right.
for
More smooth.
everybody. So yeah, I did hear that he was gonna do that, and
So
hopefully it's soon. But
yeah.
from what I'm hearing, it could be not till a while, but
Yeah.
we'll see.
Hopefully. Yeah. We'll definitely see that. And I've had a friend that really likes the game and all that, but it's definitely a turn off. Trying to play together through Skype or something like that, and
Hmm.
just glitching out. Like I would always, see my friend constantly getting hit on my screen. I'm like, oh man, are you okay? You injured or something?
Yeah.
And he'd be like, no, I didn't get hit at all. You know what I mean? So it's like there's definitely issues with
Yeah.
that too. I'm sure all the viewers out there can relate to this. So it's definitely something that needs to get done, and I think it's actually getting worked on. So that's definitely good. Props to
Hmm.
admin if he gets that
Yeah,
going for us.
definitely.
So yeah, pretty cool. If you have anything to add or
I guess I could bring some stuff from last interview, what we
go
were
for it.
talking about, the one that didn't record. What the special guest said, the server, we can put in that with the my whole TBK and TS.
Yeah.
That could lead into a question of what was my hardest goal or achievement in the game. I would have to say that was just because you're pretty much doing two tough challenges that normally you're supposed to do one of them in 1 week, but I tried doing both and
Right.
I failed the first time. That's how hard it was to
Yeah.
actually failed on something in the game, and it really got to me, and I tried it again because I promised it to my clanmates. I'm like, look, I'm not gonna let myself down here because I really want to do this and I want to be like the first player in 3D. And I'm not really sure if I'm the first. It's some players say that some player named the Fools or whatever was the first, but there's no proof behind it. So I don't know. Greg Stevens did it in 2D. So I tried going for it again. And the most difficult part was actually going in the arena, then walking up to the northeast, then going right back in the arena, like
Yeah.
walking up and down, like it increases your chances of dying.
Exactly.
So I have to say that was definitely my hardest achievement
Yeah.
ever, and I'm very proud that I achieved it, and it was definitely worth it, and it's very memorable, and I I'm very happy that I proved to myself that I was able to achieve it.
Nice. Congrats, man.
Yeah, thanks, man.
So in our previous recording, that obviously didn't work.
Yeah,
We had a guest star in the Observer. Shout out to him.
yeah,
And
definitely.
unfortunately, it didn't work out as planned. But that's
I
fine.
know.
He did ask a question. That some people I'm sure want to know. What do you plan on doing? Once you start achieving top things. Number
Yeah,
one.
I remember that.
Yeah.
He mentioned that I had all-time TBK and all-time top strongest, and he was like, "What are you going to go for next? Top riches, top survivor?" First
Right.
thing I do is laugh at that. Obviously, I can't do top riches because I don't
Right.
want to spend so much in real life money just to be the top
Yeah,
richest in the
and
game.
like you said, obviously it's about skill, not about money.
Yeah, definitely. And for Top Survivor, I've made an attempt to climb as high as I can, but I die and die over and over again. But I have set some really great scores, and I'm currently like top 15
Yeah,
in the all-time TS. So hopefully in the future, you gotta just take it slow and steady and patience when it comes
exactly.
to surviving in the game. So maybe one day I can actually beat my all-time TS, which is like 492 million. So if I beat that, that would even be an achievement for me. So I'm just going to do my best
Yep.
and see where it takes me. As for now, I'm just going to loot arena. I could still go in arena, help my clanmates win dust, or just go in there for competition
Yep.
and just to have fun. So
That's what it's all
that's what I'm
about.
basically, yep, playing the game for just to have fun. I didn't say this in the last record. I also have my own YouTube channel. Uh, DF Vick is my YouTube channel, and I make videos on like the new weapons that's coming out. I make and adventures with my clanmate Amma of us doing
Yeah, actually, I did see a
stuff.
video with you
Yeah,
and her, so definitely pretty
yeah,
cool.
the one that I looted a Folk in it, which is pretty cool.
Nice.
And
Yeah.
that's what I'm talking about fun. Like I'm doing something that players don't think of. Like I'm
Right.
making videos not to benefit myself. I'm doing it
Right.
for the community, which that's
That's
the
what it's
fun
all
part
about.
about it.
Yeah, that's
Yep,
what this show's
definitely.
for, just for the community.
Yep, I know, right? And I'm just basically just trying to have fun with the game, and I'm just trying to be there for everybody as much as I can. And I didn't say this in the last record, but the problem with the of the problems with the community was that they judge you on your clan tag
Yeah.
rather than with you as a person.
Right.
So my suggestion to you guys would be don't be like, oh, this guy's in the SS. I heard some bad things about the SS. Just talk to the person first. Get
Right.
to know him, because I'm actually a good guy if you actually know me and talk to me. Because I know I have a lot of people that dislike me, a lot of people that like me at the same time. But sometimes you gotta talk to somebody like on the mic or even type to them just to get to know them and
Right.
get to know them as a person in the game rather than just judge by what they accomplish in the game, and
Exactly.
don't think of me as like a cock blocker with TBK or any of that nonsense.
Yep.
Like talk to me, get to know me, get to see why I do the things that I do, and maybe
Yeah.
we can get along.
Right.
That's pretty much what I have to say on that part.
Yep. You seem like a pretty cool guy, Vic.
Yeah, thanks man. I try.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're running about 35 minutes. Definitely pretty good. Actually, might be a little longer than the last video, and I think we got some extra things.
Even better.
Definitely extra things to add, so it's definitely better in most
Even
parts.
better.
Yep.
Everyone loves to hear the extra things.
Exactly. It's rough draft, that type of thing.
Yeah, thanks for having me on the show. I appreciate it.
Hey, no
And
problem.
let's not forget, you are going to interview Buford 83 on Sunday, I think it is, or Saturday,
Saturday.
somewhere, sometime over the weekend. Yep.
Yep.
So you
So,
guys gotta stay tuned for that because Buford 83 is the leader of the Scarlet Sentinels,
and he's a moderator.
and he's a yep, and a global moderator on Death Frontier. So that's going to be awesome. It's going to be a great interview, and
Yep.
I'm
Looking
looking
forward to it.
forward to it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Maybe
I'm
he'll be
not
joining
going to
us.
spoil anything. Yep, maybe.
All
We'll see.
right.
It's going to be a great interview, though. So,
Yeah, definitely he's got some good plans for the
yep,
show, and
yep,
thanks guys for tuning in, supporting us,
yep.
and
This was a great interview. Maybe better than the first episode.
probably actually, definitely
I
better than the
know.
first episode. On the
Yeah,
lower left, there's probably gonna be some gameplay, and definitely expanding a lot. Thanks for everybody,
yeah,
for getting to where we're at now.
definitely.
You know,
Spread the word of the video. Increase Joe Taker's subscribers popularity, cause
yep,
this is what we're doing this for the community. Spread the word about this. Let everybody hear it. This is the real DF talk show, the real deal.
this is the thing right here. Who
I know,
knows? Maybe
right?
we'll get
You
Neil
gotta
Yates to
get
join
on
us.
it. I know, right?
That would
Or
be,
maybe Acrex. Acrex wouldn't be bad either.
yeah, maybe he'll join us actually after seeing the next
Yeah.
couple videos.
Yep. We'll see what happens, man.
We'll just have to wait and see. So thanks
Yeah.
everyone, and
Yup.
I guess we'll talk to you guys later. Thanks.